is the Port Harcourt International Airport, located in Omagua. I don't know if I got the pronunciation correctly, but that's how the spelling sounds. This airport has 2 terminals for both the international and domestic flights. I'll be taking you on a tour through the airport route to explore the international airport. So I'm not the type to rant or complain over everything because I like to see the good in most situations. But there is a concern about most Nigerian airlines which I must address as we head to the airport. So in my recent experience using Nigerian airlines, I always have this issue concerning their rescheduling, delayed, or even cancellation of flights. That stuff can be so traumatizing, especially when you have a very important appointment to catch up with. I had to research on the compensation for passengers for flight delays and cancellation in Nigeria, and I'll be excited to share this with you guys as we head to the airport. The right of a passenger to compensation for a flight delay will depend on the length of the delay, the reason for the delay or cancellation. So, under the Nigerian law, passengers on domestic flights are guaranteed certain level of compensation if they are denied boarding, flight is cancelled, or their flight is delayed. You can claim from 25% of the ticket price as compensation based on the length of your flight delay and the circumstances around the delay. The rule says that it must be a flight departing and landing within the domestic territory of Nigeria, and the passenger must have a confirmed reservation on the flight that is delayed. Again, passenger must have presented himself for check-in at the stipulated time, and if no time stipulated, then not later than 1 hour prior to the flight departure time. So the process include 1. Compile your documents. That's to make a claim, a passenger will need his ticket or booking number, date of the flight, name of the airline, and if possible, the reason given by the airline for the flight delay or cancellation. This information forward with a letter detailing the passenger experience with the airline and the inconvenience it caused. Different airlines have different procedures for claiming. Some accept complaints via email, and the passenger needs to send a written letter to others. If the claims for compensation is rejected by the airline, passenger may either need to accept the rejection or make a further complaint to Consumer Protection Directorate of the Nigerian Civil Aviation Authority. While complaining to this authority, a passenger will need to include the details of his or her initial complaint letter, the rejection letter received from the airline, and a cover letter to the authority asking them to review the rejection by the airline. If the Consumer Protection Directorate of the NCAA rejects your review, passenger may refer the matter to the Consumer Protection Council. Provide them with all the information on the complaint so far and ask them to review the decision and compel the airline to award you compensation. Finally, if the Consumer Protection Council fails to uphold your complaint, you may engage a lawyer and need to take the matter to the court. However, passenger may at any step within stipulated process decide to go to court. The above listed steps are where passenger prefers to settle such matter amicably. Unnecessary or reckless delay or cancellation of flight by airline itself could amount to a breach of contract, which the court may be called upon to determine. Traveling by air or using air transport services confers certain rights, but it comes also with some responsibilities. Among the main ones are the right to the full value for your money, the right to the provision of conducive airport environment before, during, and after the flight, the right to seek redress for all irregularities during your flight, the right to be fully informed about flight status, the right to be treated with respect and dignity irrespective of race or physical condition, the right to compensation for baggage damage or denied boarding for reasons other than technical or weather condition, air traffic control restrictions, security risk, and industrial disputes that affect the operation of the flight. Meanwhile, claiming compensation for delayed or cancelled of international flights follows different similar procedure. So for international flight cancellation compensation, the European Passenger Rights Regulation guarantees compensation and care for a flight cancellation for passengers that are departing from Europe airports arriving at Europe airports with Europe carrier. For the Europe law to apply, passenger flights must have been scheduled to depart or arrive from the UK, Iceland, Norway, or Switzerland. Based on certain conditions, Passengers are entitled to up to £600 for a flight delayed beyond 4 hours. In case of total cancellation, in addition of monetary compensation, the airline must pay for hotel accommodation of an overnight stay required and provide alternative flights. However, if extraordinary circumstances occurred, such as a case of civil war, unrest, strike, general grounding of flights by authorities or security issues, or extreme weather conditions or medical emergency on board, or crew issues, the airline will be exempted from paying the refund. Additionally, if passengers are informed of the flight cancellation 14 days or more in advance, they will not be entitled to flight compensation. It is noteworthy that the first thing to do when your flight is delayed or cancelled is to contact the airline. This needs to be the airline operating the flight. Even if the passenger booked it through another airline, the airline's customer service would usually help. Where the airline customer service is becoming unhelpful, it is important for the passenger to immediately report the issue to the Consumer Protection Department to file complaints or seek legal advice for possible legal remedies. Additionally, Nigerian passengers are also entitled to claim compensation for any delay occasioned by any European carrier departing Nigeria for Europe, or for delays occasioned by any international flights leaving any of the Europe airports in Nigeria. So I believe that these steps I have actually listed would help even a first-time traveler or someone that has traveled in a very long time and probably may have forgotten some of the guards as we continue our ride through the airport.